Meta has removed popular Toast Interactive games from their store. Meanwhile, Sony has permanently dropped the price of their PSVR2, and Samsung's new XR headset could launch as early as this year. All that and more coming up in this episode of the Virtual Lowdown. What's going on, virtual friends? Welcome to the Virtual Lowdown, the show where I bring you the latest and most exciting news happening in the VR world. I'm your host Pete, and in last week's episode we focused solely on meta news. So this week I thought we would share the love a little bit and talk about what else is happening in the VR community. So for our first story of the day, Mannequin has gone free to play. So they've adopted the free to play model, previously being a paid app. And if you're not familiar with Mannequin, by the way, it's essentially kind of like Prop Hunt, but in VR. You've got two teams. You have the agents and you have the shape-shifting mannequin aliens. So previously a premium paid app, they have now swapped over to the free to play model, and you can play most of the game, like the base game features, completely for free. But for a $10 in-app purchase, you are basically able to unlock some additional features, things like unlockable character skins, additional maps, and the ability to mod the game. Now, this move is reportedly to increase the number of players in the game, and that makes a lot of sense. We've seen this happen before as well with Population 1. A little while back, in fact, Population 1 used to be a paid game, and again, if you're not familiar with that game, that's like a Battle Royale style game. Things like Population 1 and Mannequin that rely heavily on having a strong user base. It makes a lot of sense for them to swap over to the free-to-play model because, if it's a free game, you're going to have way more players coming in and playing the game, and of course you can then charge extras once people are more invested. But if you have a game like that and you're charging quite a lot of money for it, you're not going to get nearly as many people into the game, and the game is just going to be destined to fail without that strong user base. Now, following Meta's recent announcement that they're also shifting priorities to focus more on free-to-play experiences, you can expect to see a lot more premium games swapping over to the free-to-play model. And for our second story of the day, Meta has removed two of Toast Interactive's VR games from their stores. So Richie's Plank Experience and Max Mustard are no longer available for download, and apparently this is due to a violation of their platform abuse policy. Toast Interactive states that this was a unilateral decision from Meta. Not entirely sure what that means, but it's left them feeling betrayed and powerless. Now, while there's a wide range of reasons why the games could have been removed, at the moment the actual reason is not clear. Toast Interactive have shared that they have been given a reason from Meta, but they're not able to share that with us just yet. However, they have assured us that they haven't been up to anything dodgy, so we'll have to keep an eye out for what the actual reason is when that's revealed. Now, this restriction is only on the Meta Store, so if you did want to pick it up, it's still available on Steam and for the PSVR2 and the Pico headsets. But now for a little bit of good news, Sony is reportedly going to be dropping the price of their PSVR2 headset by a whopping $150 down to $400 now, and this is a permanent price drop, so it's not like a little one-off sale or anything like that. This is the new price of the PSVR2 headset. So if you're looking to get a PSVR2, now could be the perfect time to pick one up. The price drop is supposed to be happening this month in March, so keep an eye out for that if it's something that you're interested in. And also, in case you missed it, Sony did release a adapter that you can get for the PSVR2 that allows it to work with PC VR, so you're no longer restricted to having to have a PlayStation 5 to use the PSVR2, and I think that just in itself adds a huge amount of value and opens up the PSVR2 to a much wider audience. Next up, Samsung's new VR headset could launch later this year. At least that's what's going on according to South Korea's Business Post, who reports that Samsung's VR headset could be releasing in quarter 3 of this year, and the headset will also be a debut of Google's new Android XR platform. But where things get interesting is that they're only rumored to be releasing 100,000 units. Now, this is a really small number. In comparison, the Apple Vision Pro came out with 500,000 units, and that was also considered quite a low amount. So 100,000 units, for starters, it means that not many people at all are going to be able to get their hands on one, but also it means that, unfortunately, the price of the headset is likely going to be very high, especially considering the hardware that's expected to be going into this. In fact, if you've not seen the kind of preview video that MKBHD posted on his channel, get that video up after this one. Search MKBHD Samsung VR headset and I'm sure you'll find it. But he did like a full kind of like preview of the headset, including Google's Android XR. And it looks really good. Honestly, it looks really promising. Definitely, I would say in line at least with the Apple Vision Pro. It seems like it does a couple things better, but if it's going to be priced similarly to the Apple Vision Pro at like $3,500, it's just really difficult to see who they're making this headset for. The only reason I can personally think of is that they are using these to kind of test the waters a little bit, and especially to get some more developers interested in producing like apps and experiences and things. You know, you can't have developers making apps for something that doesn't exist yet. So I don't know if this is the game they're playing, and then later on, once they've got more of like an ecosystem going on, then they can start producing more budget-friendly headsets for the mass market. Maybe that's the direction they're going with it, but if you have any other insights or thoughts, let me know down in the comments, because I'm genuinely slightly baffled who they are making these headsets for at the moment. Hang on a minute. If you're enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate you if you left me a little like, or if you're new to the channel, of course, subscribing makes a massive difference. YouTube has recently decided to like stop showing my content to anyone. I don't know why it's deciding to hate on me suddenly, but it's kind of hard times because we spend a lot of time making this content, and for it to kind of not get shown to anyone is really sad. So if you are enjoying the video so far, leave me a like, a comment, or a subscribe, and that's all really highly appreciated and makes a massive difference. All right, on with the rest of the video. And for our next story, again, a little bit of a bummer. Inseye Lumi have announced that they will be pausing work on their Quest 2 and Quest 3 eye tracking add-on. So Inseye were previously working on their Lumi device, which was supposed to be a $160 add-on piece of hardware that you can attach to your Quest 2 or Quest 3 that will give it eye tracking functionality. Eye tracking is a highly demanded feature from loads of people, and sadly, it's not available on any of the Quest headsets, and this was supposed to change that. However, they have now announced that they will be pausing work on this so that they can instead shift their focus to applying the hardware to smart glasses instead. Now, this is going to be very disappointing news to a lot of people. I know there are a lot of people who were kind of relying on this as their eye tracking solution at the moment without having to, you know, wait for a new headset to come out that has it. But Inseye have stated that they haven't completely abandoned the idea of making this product for the Quest. It's just that they have a small team and limited resources available, and for them, it made more sense to focus on producing the hardware for smart glasses instead. So if you were waiting on this for your Quest 2 or Quest 3, that's kind of a bummer for you guys. You either will have to just keep waiting a little bit longer, or maybe by the time they actually get around to it, maybe the Quest 4 will be out, and maybe that'll have eye tracking. A lot of maybes, we don't really know, but sorry if that's something that you were waiting on. And for our final news story of today, there's something fishy going on with the Quest Plus Games Catalog. So the Quest Plus Games Catalog is a subscription service by Meta that basically allows you to pay a monthly fee or an annual fee to get access to a range of games within their games catalog, and these are periodically updated and kind of rotated around. Well, it's recently been spotted that some new big titles have been added to Quest Plus, but only for some people. So Ghosts of Tabor, Job Simulator, and 11 Table Tennis, 3 highly popular games, have all been added to the Quest Plus games catalog in certain regions only. Now, this isn't something that Meta have kind of announced or made any note about, as far as I can see anyway. It was just something that was kind of spotted. So apparently it's been confirmed in the US and the UK that they have access to these games, but when I checked myself, and I'm in Thailand right right now. I did not see these games, and a lot of other people have also reported that they don't have these games. So I'm really curious to see start with which regions do have access to these games, and also why is that the case? I would love to see a response from Meta about why that is, because it seems kind of unfair. Like, if we're all paying for this subscription, surely we should all get the same kind of access. Now, I know you do things like with Netflix, obviously depending on what region you're in, you have access to different shows, and this is basically the same thing as that, but it does feel just a little bit off, especially when we're missing out on such big games like Job Simulator and Ghost of Tabor. Personally, are two games that I would really love to play, and have never had the chance to. It just seems, it leaves a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth if, you're paying for the same subscription, but you're not getting the same privileges. But I am really curious to know more about this, so let me know down in the comments if you are subscribed to the Quest Plus games catalog. Let me know if you do or do not have access to any of these games, and also where, you are, what country you're in, because I really want to know, who does and doesn't have access to these games, and maybe we can try and figure something out here, because it's kind of weird. And that is going to be it for today's Virtual Lowdown. So much going on in the virtual world, even if we're not talking about Meta. Unfortunately, quite a lot of kind of slightly negative news this time around. I'll try and make the next video a little bit more positive. But if you did enjoy this nonetheless, please leave me a like. Like I said, could really do with the support on the channel right now. If you're new here and you enjoyed the content, of course, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you're looking for some more VR content, check out either of these videos floating around right here. They're both great videos. Click on either of them. You'll have a great time, I promise. And I'll see you guys in the next one.